you've been grinding, man. You've been grinding,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We've been on the road steady for about 4 months now, and
man. You got a good sound. You
hey,
gotta, and you're writing from, and I did 20 something years in the film business before I got into music and sound, and you know there are really only five big directors in LA, and there's really a handful of megastars, and what they know is an innate ability that can't be taught.
right, right.
Do you feel that? You know what I'm trying to
Uh,
say? I'm not. You either have this musical gift or you
you
don't.
either have, no, yeah,
I'm not trying to condescending.
yeah.
It's just that
No,
I
I
watch
mean,
a lot of bands come through here.
for me, it's. I feel like I was given a gift. God gave me a gift, and my only thing is to honor Him with that, and continue to push my limits and push my band's limits, and I feel like for me, it's like I'm not the best teacher when it comes to guitars or singing or whatever. I just kind of I I like to watch. I like to watch a lot of concerts and shows and how other guys do their things, and I just kind of take bits and pieces of what I've seen so far, and take it and use it to my own advantage, really. And I don't know. I've never been asked that before,
No,
so
no, it's cool. The other thing I want to ask you, that is a Gibson E335, isn't it?
no, sir, no, sir. It's a D'Angelico.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
God, it's beautiful.
Thanks, man.
What made you want to go hollow body?
Uh, dude, are you talking about my electric
Yeah,
or my
your electric hollow body.
oh so that's an Epiphone.
Okay.
That's an Epiphone. It's it's a hollow body with no cuts in it, which is nice. It man, it's treated me pretty good. I had a I had a Epiphone Les Paul, a wine red Les Paul before that one, and it just wasn't cutting it. I'm just so I picked it up, traded it in, and played it. And it's the BB King version
Yeah.
uh, of the Epiphone, and so first time I played it, I was like, all right, well, it looks like I'm about to break my bank account. So
Well, there's gear and there's gear, and you can always look for that, can't you? Everybody can go to Sweetwater.
oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Well,
I've heard. Get yourself a Sweetwater card. That's what I've heard.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty crazy. How long you opened for? I saw you open for Mike and the Moon Pies down in Corvus, my hometown.
That was actually a correction. That was actually Mickey and the Motor Cars.
Mickey and them. Oh, that's right. That's
Yep.
right. Boy,
Yep. Hey, I don't blame you. I got those two confused too, and there was a friend of mine that was like, "Are you opening for Mike and the Moon Pies?" And I had to go back and read my text message with the booking lady down there, and I was like, "No, no, I'm opening for Mickey and the Motor Cars."
no,
So that was cool, man. Because I, I I guess those boys used to run around with Cross Canadian Ragweed and Corey Morrow and Pat Green and all those guys, and that was the kind of music that my folks were raised on, and it's definitely cool to be opening for bands that I've been hearing about since I was in diapers.
yeah, it's wild. My production office in Dallas, when I was doing film and music videos and blah blah blah. But I was Pat Green used to play at Eight Airs for $5 cover.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was a badass burger, and Andy Timmons was down there. He's a badass lead guitarist. But Pat Green, man, I mean, went all the way, sold out the Astrodome 2 nights in a row. Uh, I
Can't
mean,
believe that.
he's awesome. He's one of my heroes. You're already impressing me, Hayden. Well, tell me about the road. What have you at 18? What is the road like?
Well, I'll give
I
you.
mean, the grind. Let's just talk about the grind. Let's talk about that.
Man, it's. I don't really. It's it's like nothing it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. When you want it like that bad, like I know that, and this is not meant to be, coming off as cocky as any way, but I know that I was given something that, um, I can work for, right? And I've recognized that, and I'm gonna work harder than anybody. That's kind of my thing, and when I say that, it comes off wrong to a lot of people. That's why I don't say it very often. But given this circumstance, um, I, I truly believe that I'm going to work harder than anybody that's in the same room as me, and that's not me being an asshole. That's just me being who I am. I'm competitive. I like to compete. I like to be the very best, and I try and I strive to be that way every day. And the grind is it's hard, but it's if it was easy, like everyone has ever said, if it was easy, everybody would do it. But
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
you know,
the grinding, it's the uh, it's it's grinding like practicing when nobody's watching.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's
and it's doing what you got to do what you got to do. And as soon as people start taking, I've seen talent in film and music, take their gift and not apply it.
yeah, yeah. I hear about that all the time, and that's one of the things that probably scares me the most is like, am I taking full advantage of, well, not taking advantage, but am I using every resource that I have, um, to the absolute best of my ability, and that's kind of one of my things that I try to hold myself accountable for, like getting on social media and writing and trying to make songs and trying to book shows and all that. And it's it gets overwhelming sometimes because I don't have a booking manager. I don't have anybody. I've been doing this. I've been booking my own shows and doing my own stuff for paying for my own songs and paying for everything else and paying for this and paying for that since since I was 16, since I started. So um, it's definitely been financially difficult sometimes, but God always gives me some room. When He blesses you, He's gonna make sure you get the blessing 100%. So there ain't no question in that.
Well, Hayden, tell me about your first when you knew you had a real gig. What was that? When was that moment? And what was that stage? And what was that crowd?
So our first full band show that we did, um, probably about 6 months into me singing and playing guitar fully. I had no idea what I was doing. Um, it was at the Meal Barn. I'm doing a podcast, a live podcast there tomorrow in my hometown in Justin, Texas. And what was super cool about about that place specifically is that I used to work there. So I worked there for like 2 years. I was a bus boy, running food, taking the trash out, unclogging toilets, doing all the dirty work that none of the bartending girls and servers wanted to do. And
Still, same thing at Whiskey River.
yeah, since since I was one of the young guns and one of the only guys there regularly, I would have to do all that, and then I played an open mic there, and then I got a band together, and then got some kids from high school to come out, and it was cool because the bar owner made that show all ages the whole night, which is really cool because that didn't happen very often, given the fact that most bars are either 18 and up or 21 and up, and everyone in my high school class showed up to that, and I really thought that was special. And Tanner Russery was actually around when that happened. He actually came out.
Troubadours, Turnpike.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He,
Okay.
so
Wow.
my drummer, my old drummer, plays for him now. So
Ah.
so which is really cool because it's a cat named Trevor. His name's Trevor, and his brother's named Tyler, and they both play for Tanner. So at that time, they had came out to the show, and Tanner was watching, and it just so happened that we were covering one of his hottest songs at that point, and he came up on stage and sang that song with us, and that was just a magical moment. And there was probably about 500 people in that bar, and everyone came up to the stage and was flashing their lights, and it was that first kind of like, here, take the bait. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Uh, Kind of like that. That night definitely bit me for sure. I got bit by the bug. That's for damn sure. Um, and then I don't know. It's just been there's some nights I don't even remember because I've just been so busy, just going and going and going all the time, and it's a blessing being busy. But
Um,
yeah,
it is, you're echoing at a young age a lot of the stuff that my boss, the owner of whiskey, he was Colin Ray's drummer, and he takes everything uh to to try to be a 10 at all things like our
right.
sound, our lights, and everything. And you know, he taught me to treat bands with respect because
Absolutely.
when they go down the road, they're gonna talk about you.
Yeah, no, and I think this, this industry is, and is especially in Texas, as far as I know, it's all by word of mouth. Everybody knows somebody through somebody else and through that person. You know what I mean? Uh,
Absolutely.
so, and I think that's probably one of the most special parts about it, is because there's been a handful of times where people have came up to me and be like, "Hey, man, I heard your name through so and so and so and so," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't even know that person even knew who I was. That's pretty cool." It just goes to show, like, first impressions are everything, and I think that's one thing that I stress, that I hold myself accountable for, and to my guys too. I'm like, man, if somebody comes up to you and tells you good job, or whatever the case may be, shake them, shake their hand, look them in the eye, and tell them thanks, and really be sincere about that, because they're going to go off and tell somebody else about this and that, and they're going to explode the story, and be like, "Oh yeah, I hung out with it with Pat Green tonight. I hung out with Pat Green tonight. We sat back and drank beers." Even if that didn't happen, that person is going to go tell this friend, and these five friends are going to go tell these five friends, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And I think that's super cool, because one good impression could lead to 100 good impressions that you didn't even start.
You
So,
know, what I
um,
love about Texas, is that I was raised in Cheatham Street
okay,
when I was a freshman in '78, and George Strait was playing there.
Texas
George
State.
Strait was playing there.
Yeah.
It wasn't even George Strait. It was Ace in the Hole.
Okay, okay,
It wasn't even George Strait.
gotcha.
And and he played this little restaurant called Grins when I first saw him. And all of a sudden, then Straight Country came out, and I think his first big hit was "If You're Thinking You Want a Stranger, There's One Coming Home." Well, he came back to New Braunfels and played the Crystal Chandelier, which is still there. And where I'm going with this is I'm listening to like Rico at Kimfo, and guys, Dylan going to Groon Hall, all these places. I mean, I grew up in, and they're
Yeah,
still there, and they're still
yeah.
relevant.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a pretty special thing. I was out there in South Texas a couple weeks ago, and I got to see Green Hall for the first time. I didn't go inside. I didn't want to go inside, because I think this is probably a really selfish thing to say, but I don't want to step foot in that place until I play it.
I don't get you. I get it. I get it.
Like, it's like a venue like that is, I don't know, it'd be a dream. It'd be a dream and a half to play there. And my parents have a big old show poster of a Merle Haggard, New Braunfels, Texas Green Hall, in our living room, and I
Hell
look
yeah.
at I look at that every day before I walk out the door. Um,
So you are destined to like country music whether you wanted to or not, with that poster going out the door every day.
it's just and it's kind of funny, because I just now started recently noticing it, like really paying attention to it. It wasn't there before, like when I was super little, and like I was raised on Turnpike Troubadours, Cody Jinks, Pat Green, Brandon Ryder. Gosh, who else? Brandon Jenkins. Good Lord, there's so many names. Shane Smith and Saints. I mean, I'm
Wild Texas country has got its own thing, doesn't it?
Oh
Seriously.
yeah.
I mean, it's not Nashville. It's not. To me, it's rebellious. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I
Willie
think
Nelson left Nashville to come back and kind of birth that. But I mean, it was like be what you are and be who you are. Don't
yeah,
conform.
and I mean, like, there's I've only been in Nashville one time, but I feel like a lot of people over exaggerate the fact that um, Nashville's bad and everything like that, and I don't. I think there's more good people out there than there is bad people. I think that's just my opinion. I don't know. I can't say that's a fact or not because I don't know. Um, but I feel like if you were to get a good deal, let's just say, for instance, if you were to get a deal from Nashville and you have 5 people look over the deal and they all say it's a good deal, then I think you should do that. You know, like it, I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with that, but
I think because it has such a reputation of if we sign you, you conform to what we are.
yeah, right, right.
Where Texas is like we're gonna play what we want and how we want it.
Yeah, and I think it's super cool because seeing guys like Dylan Wheeler and Cody West and some of my good friends. Shout out Pecos on the Rooftops. Shout out those guys. Those guys are some of my good buddies. Ken and Bryce.
They came through. They're great guys. Great
Oh
guys.
yeah, oh yeah, really good folks. Seeing guys like that play the music that they play gives us younger guys um, faith that we are welcome here. Like we can play what we want. Um, and Texas country is just one big subgenre thing of itself. Like you got Cody West with his country stuff in the beginning of his career, and then you got his alternative stuff now, and his alternative stuff rips.
No, it's
Like,
wicked. It's wicked. It's wicked.
Yeah, it's not, and that's kind of the route that I'm following. That kind of little
Giovanni.
Yeah, and Giovanni's gone full rock now, and he still plays Green Hall, and he still plays Billy Bob's, and he still plays.
I don't know. It was the most. What was the most punk tour? I mean, he even kept the punk tour name playing Billy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like that just gives us guys like I remember when Cody West released "Let You Go," and at the very last part of "Let You Go," he screams on that song, and he does a scream there. A loud, just like projected scream, and I remember hearing that, and my first thought in my head was, dude, if he can do that in Texas, around my area, I can do that too. Like I can do anything. It doesn't like I don't even have to do that. Like I can just do anything I want, and it be acceptable. And it's I think I've been treated with nothing but love and respect in the Texas scene. So I mean, I can't really complain. I'm just happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here, man. I'm not trying to take up all your time. It's been a great conversation. But one thing I wanted to reiterate when you're talking about Pecos and Gio and Dylan, I don't see any ego in those guys. And I know they're still a level down, but I mean, to me, and this is what we love to do at Whiskey. We love to get you guys before you're big.
Yeah, right.
We want to see it. We want to see you in a 600-seat venue.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Bad Bunny at American Airlines Theater. I don't. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, when people like that get big, I mean, it's kind of like I don't know if I'm saying this correctly or not, but kind of like they're there. They can sell out Dickies Arena. Cool. We had them 5 years ago. Like we saw them before this shit was even a thing. Like, I don't know. I think that's pretty special, and I appreciate you guys wanting to do that with us. And thanks for having faith in us and myself and what I do. And that means a lot. That keeps us going at the end of the day. So.
Well, I'm going to do my best to fill it out to help us all pay our bills and get you some merch.
Yeah, man. money's a scarce thing to find nowadays, especially for me. I mean, you just got to go out and find it. Really, you just can't be lazy with it.
Oh, I put Kinfo into a theater, and in the contract that it was my first time there, and it was Rico's first time there.
Yeah, right.
They had it in the fine print. It said we get 20% of the merch,
Oh no.
and
Uh-uh.
and Rico was just like, "This is how we eat and fill the gas tank."
Yeah.
And that's one of the rules I have is like, I don't ask for autographs. And I learned that in the film business. My brother-in-law was uh big up there, and he taught us as kids. He said, you can either be a fan or a friend, but you can't be both.
Yeah. Right.
So I
A
don't.
fan means that you're going to shows, you're buying tickets, you're buying merch, you're sharing that artist, you are actively talking highly of this artist or whatever the case may be. And I don't think people realize how far that goes.
No, and I don't think, and what I on y'all side, because I watched the 15 pass van with the trailer, and everybody want to get, once y'all pile off, where's your bathroom? Can I have some water? You know, that $20 t-shirt that only costs you $3 is how you get down the road.
Yeah, right. I mean,
So I always, I will not ask for a free shirt. I just don't.
yeah, I when people ask me for free stuff or like to get them into shows, and and usually it's a bunch of people that don't know how it works that ask for the free shit.
Right.
And for me, it's like I can't get angry with them because they don't know. Like,
No,
you know,
they don't.
and I can't get mad at them because I mean, if it was somebody that knew the business and knew how this worked and they asked for that, then I'd be like, all right, bro. Like, but it's just like, man, I can't afford to get you in for free. Like, I'm sorry. Like my list is for friends, for selected friends and family only, mainly family. Like, I really don't put anybody else on there except for family, and it's just because I can't afford to. I can't, you know what I mean? Because when we're going down the road, and like you said, we got to eat, man. We got to eat. We got to have gas. And hey, puppy, I know. I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
talking.
I'll get your you guys will have clean sheets and a good meal Saturday. And I'll end this with a funny Geo story.
Sweet, yeah,
The second we had Geo two times before, and the second time when he said, "Man, we just signed with Train,"
yeah,
and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." He said, "Well, it's not Train; it's their publicity company, but their publicity company 80% of their income is Train." I'm like, "Oh my
oh
god!"
yeah, oh yeah,
And he said, and they were still they had a great show, and they were wanting to throw down, and we have to charge. We give a discounted rate, and he said, "Look, I will sell $3,000 worth of alcohol in 30 minutes if you give me a $300 tab." And I said, "If you can do that, I'll do that," and he did it.
oh man,
He did it after the show. But he is such a charmer, and that what's on stage exudes off.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
with
and that's why I was kind of telling you, it's good, like play 45 minutes, take a break, take a break, take a break. Don't worry about coming. Work the crowd,
yeah,
because those people are the ones that go tell the other people to tell the other people when you're coming back through.
for sure. That's the thing with Gio, man. Is you get what you see is what you get with him. He is he's
He's real.
very he's a sweet guy. I mean, I've met him 3 times, I think, and last time I saw him was when he played a 200 cap room in Denton, Texas, called Dan Still Relief. He played there, and some of my good friends, the Huser brothers, opened for him. And I walked in there to say what's up to the Huser guys, and Gio walked past me and he goes, "Hayden, what the hell are you doing here?" And I looked at him and I was like, there's no way he just said my name. Like I was just kind of like, like that's cool. Like it's cool. I mean,
No, real people,
so,
real people.
yeah, sure.
That's always gonna be that way, Hayden. And
Yeah,
Gio was like that, and I can't wait to see you Saturday. I'm gonna keep pushing numbers and trying to get clicks to tickets and sell your show out. Uh, we'll see it. We'll see you Saturday.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to show you what we got, and I promise we won't let you down.
I'm not worried. All right, I'm not worried. I'll see you when I see you.
Yes, sir. We'll see you soon.
Peace.